Hello, Sir Daniel 1975 here. This is my first Star Trek Online video. This is the ship that I use most of the time. It is a Mirror Universe Advanced Escort. Got it off the exchange for about $40,000. Very affordable. There's actually all the Mirror Universe ships are for sale on there. Most of them are extremely affordable. Good way to test that many ships is showing off some of my stats that I have here. I am recording this after the fact of recording the video, or at least the narration after the fact. Alright, I'm using Polaron weapons. As you'll see, I've got the Jem'hadar set on the ship, and Jem'hadar set gives a bonus to Polarons. And everything's a Mark 12, very rare. Tried to get a good amount of critical severity and stuff added to it. Okay, Mark 11 Jem'hadar set, good. It also gives a bonus to the weapons itself. I will exchange it for a Mark 12 once I get enough low buy crystals. Okay, and of course you see the bonus to the Polaron damage and power insulators, and that's the subspace modulator. That's a really good thing to have, extra little buff. And that's my resistance armor there. There's my threat scaled plasma infused, I call it plasma infused science console. It is only a Mark 10 because that's all my fleet is unlocked right now is Mark 10s on the science consoles. But that is a really good extra console if you want to get something like that. You can get some that you can either get them with their plus or minus threat, and then you can either get them with plasma or with hull repair or shield repair. That was my field generator, my Polaron Mark 11 rares. Get very rare Mark 12s in the future, and my 0-point conduit, and my Romulan hyper torpedo, plasma torpedo. Those I actually have 3 sets, different space sets on the ship, and I get a plasma bonus on that, and I have that science console that adds a crit possibility of plasma, so I get a little extra bonus there. Got the kinetic cutting beam and the assimilated module. That also gives bonuses to weapons, and that set together also gives a bonus to weapons when it crits. So this is a really good set up to do. Everything there gives bonus to weapons I have on my ship. I'm an engineer, like I said, not a tactical officer. I need all the extra weapon kinetic damage bonus I can get. Nice thing about being an engineer, I have good hull strength and extra ship heals. So let's see. Here I am showing off the different stats when you run the buffs on the weapons. Yeah, it's just over 1,000 there, and then when you hit the attack team and then beam overload, it gets over 7,000. So it goes up about 7 times the amount of damage with that, and that's why I use a dual beam array in the front instead of 3 of these dual heavy cannons. I love the dual heavy cannons, but I have one weapon there that just has an enormous amount of kinetic damage when I use it. It's a good zap, and you'll see it in the upcoming battle. Showing off the differences and the extra stats with the torpedo there, so you can see and get an idea. And just if anybody's interested, I am a free-to-play player, like most are, and I really enjoy the free-to-play Star Trek Online. Not most games that go free-to-play are just not as good. They find ways to nickel and dime you, and the fact that you can find ways to exchange the lithium ore for Zen and make purchases really makes this a worthwhile game to play. I really like the bridge officer setup on this ship, and I like having a little extra science. I like to have 2 science weapons. They're good. I have there the Tychon's Rift and the Tachyon Beam. Tachyon Beam's great for taking down shields, and Tychon's Rift, once you pop a hole in someone's shields and you kick that weapon in, it just starts draining ship power and hull strength. And I only have tier 1 of all those there. And I use a shield heal instead of science team, because I can run both shield heals there at the same time and engineering team at the same time. Now I can't run tac team and engineering team right at the same time. I have to wait, I think, 15 seconds to get a chance to click the other one. So that's why I did that. Science team is wonderful, but I really like the hull heal from engineering team, and I don't want too much to disrupt the chance to use that when you really need it. Yeah, and here I am showing off. Yes, this is a mirror ship, and there's 3 different classes, I think, styles, and my body is a mix. The body of my ship, I mixed up 3 different ones, and I don't remember which. Well, here comes that patrol. And there is a little bit of lag on this. I have like a medium-low gaming system that I built. It's the first system I've ever built on my own. Next time around, since I know what I'm doing now, I'm going to probably try to build a pretty good cooking system. As you see, the Guy Escort down in no time, and that is a pretty tough ship to go after sometimes. I think the Magai Escort is usually harder than the Derek's ship. There, that big warbird. But with all these extra things I got on the ship, it's just, everything is just, it's much quicker. And a lot of people wouldn't put the cutting beam in the back. They would want to have 3 turrets. The cutting beam does fire 360, and it does have higher kinetic damage than the turrets, especially with all the weapon buffs. It's around 1,000. So it is. I strongly recommend putting the cutting beam in the back. As far as your rear weapons are concerned. I'm just tearing this down, and honestly I think it's just under 3 minutes that I do this whole patrol. Some of you that run cruisers have noticed that sometimes these patrols take a bit. Each patrol takes about 10 minutes. Sometimes, if you don't have your weapons and everything static right. But every time I upgraded this ship with a little bit of this and that, the time on these patrols just got less and less and less. So I basically went from these missions taking about 5 or 6 minutes to being able to do them in 3 minutes sometimes, and I think this one is just under 3. That is really quick to do one of these patrols. And this ship really does dish out quite a bit of kinetic damage. See, I'm running all my buffs all the time just to make sure to keep my forward shields up and my hull strength as close to 100% as possible. So if you're not paying attention, once they get a break in your shields and your hull strength starts going down, a little escort like this could be finished if you're not paying attention. Notice the effect there that even though the ship was destroying those plasmas, decided to go towards the other enemies that were coming in. This group here. There's 2 guys left. Before I had all these extra consoles from the Reputation, I was using the isometric charge console, and that's a good one that you can get pretty cheap off the exchange if you look for it before you can get all this other stuff. And that has a lot of kinetic damage, and it's a pretty cool thing. But I just don't have a lot of space to add it back in here. But I still am doing much better than with it. Alright, thanks for watching. That was that patrol. Hope you enjoyed.